Is it doing anything, man?
We live?
You got yours on YouTube?
It's not popping up yet. And we're live.
Let me know if you get anybody watching. Got any viewers yet, son?
Troy T.
Troy T's on there, baby. We're waiting on, we're live on YouTube. Waiting on Facebook to go live. What a half right there for the Tigers. It was a great ending right there. 51 seconds left in that half. The Tigers take the ball down, have a big run by, who was that, Madden? That was Williams.
Yeah.
Had a big run down the sideline. We had some opportunities right there with neighbors. Just a little miscommunication with those two guys, and looks like they'll get on the same page and we'll get something going. You got any questions yet, Madden, from YouTube?
Not yet.
All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll start talking about this game. Great job right there at the end of that game, getting points by the Tigers, and there we are. We're live on Facebook also. So here we go. First drive, LSU gets the ball. We go down. We run a wheel route early. First play of the game, Bradford gets a big play. We get it down inside the 5-yard line. We couldn't punch it in. You know, you looking back, you wish Tigers would have got points there. And then the third drive, you got a question from YouTube? What you got?
Basically what you're explaining right now. Thoughts on the opening drive to come up empty after 6 snap inside the 5.
You know, I thought that was the right idea by Coach Kelly and his staff to go ahead and go for it on that first drive. And then you get to that third drive where you get back down there and you already tried to go for it once in previous drives. So you got to, I think you go ahead and go for it again, but you hate to come up empty-handed. And this game easily, Madden, we could be up 28-14 right now, or at least 23-14. But we're up by 3. We'll take it. I think if you're going into this game and you would say the Tigers are going to be up 17-14 at half, you'll take that, you know. Any more questions from YouTube? If not, we'll keep going talking about the offense.
None yet, but there's for sure been a bunch of missed opportunities by LSU on the goal line.
No, absolutely. And you look at second drive, Lacey had that great catch. That was our first scoring drive. Lacey had the great catch, stayed in bounds, and then Bradford got in for the 1-yard touchdown run. Our fourth drive, let's see, what happened on the fourth drive? Brooks had pressure. So we're talking about defense now. It was a fourth drive for Florida State. This was a big turning point in the game. Brooks had pressure on the quarterback, kind of got to his shoulder, and Deuce Chestnut got that pick. And that was big. That was big because you go back to our offense. Our offense stalled. Or I'm sorry, we got to stop on defense. They punt it to us, and then Anderson bobbles a snap. He bobbles a snap. Florida gets it down there in scoring position. Chestnut comes up with a big pick after pressure by Brooks. So that was a huge point in this game. We got a few comments here on Facebook. Let's go and see. Yeah, you can see if you can read. Here we go. I got them right here. All right, how do we stop number 14, the 6'7" wide receiver? It's a great question, Jack. He's dropped a couple balls, and I think the biggest thing is we're giving the quarterback too much time in the pocket. If you give him time in the pocket, they're going to have time to get open. We may have to pressure them a little bit more, but their offensive line is doing a great job of stopping our rush. They've been effective with that early. Marty Broussard wants to know if Coach Kelly uses parboiled rice. Come on, Marty, we're talking about football. But I don't know. After hearing him in the PMAC when he asked in that Cajun accent, he might use parboiled rice. What you got from YouTube?
Why do you think Daniels Likes to run the clock so low before snapping the ball.
No, I think it's a lot of things. It's getting the play in. The coach is getting the play in on time, and he's got a lot he's looking at. A lot of plays that LSU runs are RPOs, run pass option, and so it's taking a while. He's got to go through his reads, see if he's sending the guy in motions, and that's another big thing that's going on in this game. If you watch the second half, Daniels, we always have somebody in motion. Florida State is playing a lot of man coverage. I would say more man coverage than they are zone. So when Daniels sends a guy in motion, if the defender runs with him, they're in man. If they just bump the coverage, nobody runs with our motion guy, then they're playing zone. That's telling Daniels a lot of things that he needs to see pre-snap. He's had 2 big runs where he's run that guy in motion. He saw it was man coverage, and it was designed quarterback runs that he's had big gains on. So we'll watch now. Let's see, we got another question right here. Kelly Walls, we got to get pressure on the quarterback, and we talked about that. That, you know, it's a big point. Got to get pressure on that quarterback. Can't let him sit back there and just survey the field. You got anything else from YouTube? Any more questions?
Yeah.
What you got?
What do you think the O-line's play as the half progressed? It looked like they started to open up gaps to the run inside as the tempo picked up.
No, they definitely did. And you watch, if you go back and watch a couple of our drives, and you can see Coach Kelly, I think he dropped the F-bomb about after the second time we got stopped down in the red zone. We kept trying to run inside, wouldn't have success. And if you go back and you watch the clip, he said, get the bleepity ball outside. Get it to the outside. And, you know, we did that. Later on, we got Daniels on the outside of the edge and had some success. Rusty Fairchild over there in Gonzales, he's saying we need to get Perkins back on the edge. Rusty, I was watching the game in the first half, and I was thinking a little bit of the same thing. He hadn't shown up as much. He looks like he's a little bit hesitant. When you play that middle linebacker spot, you have to think about a lot of things. You have to process a lot of things. Harold Perkins, his natural instincts is to see ball, get ball. Right now, he's having to think a little bit too much. And I think they're going to continue to grow his role there on defense, but I agree with you. He's got to be more effective on the edge. You can see a lot of people, Daniel Thornhill also said the same thing about it. You know, we got to get him out on the edge. We got some guys talking about blitzing. We have to blitz. We got to do something a little bit more where their quarterback can't just sit back there, Madden, and just pick us apart because he's got too much talent, too much size on the edge. We can't cover him forever. We got to get pressure in his face. And you've seen 2 times we've done it, once with Brooks coming with a safety blitz and the other time with Wingo. Wingo had great ball get off, and he disrupted it, so we got to get in his face early. What you got?
I was about to say, overall, we just have to put pressure on the quarterback.
You know, we got a few more questions here from Facebook. Red zone offensive play calling. I see Brian's asking about that, and we kind of touched on that. Looks like down in the red zone on the inside, we're not having success. You know, and I think I kept saying it, kept telling him we got to get my thoughts. We got to get Daniels out of the pocket, roll him out. You give him the run pass option with 2 or 3 guys out in the flat, a guy in the back of the end zone. Let him do what he does best. If nothing's there, let him throw it. I mean, if nothing's there, he could take it and run it in. But if it's there, let's throw it. If not, throw it away. But we got to get Daniels out on the edge. And we got to talk about the special teams.
That's the question that just asked.
Yeah, they're talking about shaky special teams, but I think we had one play. Well, the first time we go out there and we put 80. Who is 80, Madden? That's is it Collins? Not Collins. Anyway, he's out there and he runs backwards, catches a ball over his head, and luckily the ball, that could have been a turnover there. Then we run Anderson out for the next punt return. Anderson bobbles it. There's a lot of nerves that go into those guys and those punt returners, and you know, we got to be better there. But then you look, I think one of the keys to this game was the punt. We had about a 50 or 60-yard punt, pinned them inside the 1-yard line, got a 3 and out, and I think we were able to go get points after that. So here we go. Let's look back at Facebook, see if we have any more questions. You know, guys talking about not wrapping up on tackling, roll Daniels out more. I agree. You got to get Daniels. What he does great is him in space, getting out on the edge, you got to use your athletes, and I think that's what we need to do. Um, we talked about it in the pregame. I see Glenn Thompson's talking about more tight end. We definitely got to get Mason Taylor more involved. He had a couple plays, was big early. I think we're trying to use him to chip and get some more guys open, but we got to get Mason Taylor more involved in this offense. Madden, anything from you two?
Nothing yet. Just you're just talking about special teams, and you said, why can't we find a guy that can catch a punt?
Yeah, I mean, it's easier to sit here. I agree with you. We got too many athletes, too much talent. We should have a guy that can go back there and at least field a punt or get away from it. Let's talk about keys to the second half. All right, Florida State gets the ball coming out of half. We got to go get a stop right here. We're up 3. You can't let them go down the field and score right here to flip the momentum. All right, so our defense has to go out there prepared to get our offense a stop. And then our offense, when they do get a stop, all right, we got to be able to go take the ball down the field and get 7. You can't keep getting 3 points against a team like Florida State and let them be in it towards the end of this game.
Got to get our run game started too.
We got to get the run game started. And you look at Florida State, that's one thing we've done well. Florida State hadn't ran the ball well. You know, their quarterback has stayed back and he's picked us apart a little bit because he hadn't had pressure in his face. So that's one thing we got to do this second half.
It's like he has forever in the pocket.
Yeah, and he's a good quarterback. You know, you let a good quarterback that can survey the field just sit back there like he's in a 7-on-7, of course he's going to have success. Yeah, so let's see what else we got. We got a few followers, man. People are watching, man. I don't know. We'll see what the review is. O-line in the running game. Adam Rabelais is talking about O-line in the running game. The one thing Florida State is trying to do is, you know, when they see it, the linebackers are running through a lot. And I've seen a couple of times where our offensive line, they're in combination blocks. What Florida State's D-line is doing good is they're eating up blocks. They're getting our lead guy in the combination block, getting his shoulders turned to where the linebacker can run through. And a few times those linebackers have run through scot-free. But I saw that Dillinger on the touchdown run by Williams, he did a good job. The guy was trying to turn his shoulders, and he kept his eyes up. And when you just get a piece of the linebacker when you're down there on the goal line, that's all it takes, and we get in the end zone. So keys, Madden, we got to get more pressure on the quarterback. I think offensively we got to go keep doing what we're doing. We can't drop balls. Get our running game going. Let Jaden Daniels take this game over. And he's comfortable back there in the pocket. He's been pressured a few times, but he's like their guy. If you give him enough time, he's going to pick you apart.
We need to start rolling them out more when we get in the red zone too.
No, absolutely. We talked about that earlier. Get your playmakers on the edge, get them in space, and then, I think we're going to like where we are. So for the first, we got a lot of questions. Let's see. Let's look back. Brett is saying, run off tackle, get outside, since linebackers are coming up through the middle. And I agree with you. And I think Coach Kelly sees the same thing. You know, the middle of their defense with their linebackers running through, it's tough sledding right now for the LSU Tigers. So we got to get on the edge, try to get some guys sealed off. With those guys playing man coverage, when you do get to the edge, if your receivers are doing what they're supposed to do, those DBs are going to be running with them down the field with their backs turned. That's where the big plays can come up. Going back to Facebook, Wingo is an animal, Corey Sharp. His first step is so quick. I agree with you. I saw Corey, the one play he had reminded me, one of my old teammates, Booker McFarland. He saw that center just barely flinch, and his swim move to get up there, that is so tough to block, and he got in that backfield. Just think about this, Tiger fans. You have Wingo, you get Big Mason Smith back. If we can come find a way to go win this football game, you get Big Mason Smith back with
D-line's
Wingo.
going to be impossible.
Ooh, you better
Impossible to
watch
stop.
out. All they're going to be able to do is throw the ball because you're not going to run it against this D-line. What else we got? Anything from YouTube, Madden?
Just Wingo giving it hell.
Wingo giving it hell. That's a great comment for somebody following us on YouTube. Got another one coming in. Todd, why is Perkins having trouble penetrating in the backfield to the quarterback? I think if you look at it, a lot of times, especially second long, third and long, they have him in more of a spy role where he doesn't want to let Travis get out of the pocket. So, and I think that's a good job by Florida State. They're seeing it. If you have Harold Perkins, one of our best guys at disrupting the game, you got him in a spiral. That's where you want him, you know. And I think for LSU, we got to find a way. And it might be gambling, taking a few more chances, make it look like we're spying, and then go blitz, get there. They got to find a way to get Harold Perkins where he can go react and play football and not have to read so many things before he can go make a play. Let's see. All right, we're about to get started with the second half. We appreciate everybody joining in. We're going to get better. Look forward to being here pregame, halftime of all these LSU games, and let's go get this win, bro.
Go Tigers. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
That's all I got.
No music for us this time?
No music for us.
Let's go get this dub. Is it over?